First and foremost, before we get started, I like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rekah Kwadash, and double honors to the elders great millstone, while unto truth, and also to those elect that scattered abroad. I like to say, Shalom. Come back here today with another great and powerful lesson, the spirit and the power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. And the title of the lesson is Malibu Wildfire Forces Evacuations. So I like to say Shalom to all our listeners and learners. Hope this helped you today and guide you back in the path of righteousness and back to your true power, which in fact is Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. So before we start today's lesson, I have a quick news article here by NBC News. And it reads, it said thousands warned to evacuate in Southern California as wildfires threaten Malibu. So what we'll do first, before we read the article, we'll start this video, get a little edification. After the video, we'll get a few precepts. After that, we'll have a few more videos, and I hope that you will get edified. So I should read the title once again by NBC News. It said thousands warned to evacuate in Southern California as wildfires threaten Malibu. So let's start the video.
Growing with ferocious speed and fueled by extreme Santa Ana winds, a life-threatening wildfire is accelerating through the hills and canyons of Malibu. The so-called Franklin Fire exploding to more than 2,700 acres in a matter of hours.
This entire place, everywhere you look, there's flames.
Surrounded, Alec Gallus scrambled to protect his home.
Fire's up in the mountains over there behind us. Fire's over there. That house is on fire. Fire's up in the canyon over there.
And not a lot of ways in and out of this area.
Not a lot of ways in and out.
With several homes burning, thousands of residents were forced to flee in the middle of the night. The winds and fire were extraordinarily fierce overnight here. They've gotten a bit of a break during the day, but in canyons like this fire is essentially making its own winds, propelling the flames up hillsides, as you can see there. Wind gusts reached at least 50 miles per hour, sending embers ahead of the front lines, sparking new fires flaring out of control and jumping across roads and canyons.
I woke up and she was yelling that we need to get out of here, and across the canyon, the flames were just crazy.
At Pepperdine University, tense moments for some 800 students sheltering in place as the fire approached a campus library. The air attack critical to protect homes and lives.
The smoke was so thick, and just like everything was just orange. And then the wind picked up, and the wind was just like flying embers everywhere.
Linda Michelle had just minutes to escape, the fire destroying the guest house where she lived, but sparing the horses and other buildings on the property.
Just finally relief, just you're thinking for the worst, and you come back and you're like, oh God, there's still something here.
So we see right now that the Lord is constantly bringing these plagues and these calamity. Many great miseries shall befall them. So it says here, it says around 20,000 people were under evacuation orders. At least 7 structures, including homes, were destroyed. But that figure is preliminary. So one thing about it, we seeing right now that these things every day is constantly picking up. That's why the Lord has set up watchmen, constantly warning you of all these impending dangers. So it always will come when you're unaware, when you're relaxing, when you're thinking that you're a good case. And one thing about a lot of people right now are getting ready for the holidays, getting ready for New Year Revolution, getting ready to go on cruise, anniversary, birthdays, not thinking that these things are coming upon you at a fast pace. Also, these evils are growing left and right. Let's get a little bit more of this news article, then we'll get a precept. It says here, it said homes were destroyed in a wind-fueled wildfire that erupted in Malibu, California, Monday, and prompted evacuations. And a shelter-in-place order at Pepperdine University officials said. So around 20,000 people were under evacuation orders under the blaze. Said dubbed the Franklin Fire broke out shortly before 11 p.m. Monday in the Malibu Canyon area in Los Angeles County, said County Fire and Sheriff Department said, Salaki. And it says here, it said that fire occurred as Southern California was under a red flag warning, said because of strong Santa Ana winds, low humidity, and dry vegetation. Salaki. It said the fire has burned around 3,000 acres and was 0% contained by Tuesday evening, said the state firefighting agency said firefighters plan to take advantage of easing condition overnight. So we want to wake up tomorrow morning and make sure we at least start getting some containment. Los Angeles County Fire Chief Anthony Maroon said Tuesday. So that's all we're gonna get out of this. But we're seeing right now that these things is at our door, and while all these things are happening, because what the Lord is visiting the earth, He created. Also, we ride upon judgment, and a lot of our people right now still are docile, still getting ready. Also for the Super Bowl. A lot of people going on with their daily lives, and these things are constantly happening all around. And also the Lord is getting ready to destroy him. That what is constantly destroying the air. We're seeing fire all around the world. We're seeing the air is being polluted. The water is being polluted. The food is being polluted. Also you are being polluted. This place is defiled. Because we have that unrighteous ruler, which in fact is Esau Edom. The earth is out of course. We're seeing all these things every left and right. This is happening. That is happening. That's why the Lord said, many great miseries shall befall you, because what? They're walking in great pride, self-will, constantly being despisers of Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushua, constantly scoffing and mocking. Constantly, this man is constantly speaking great words. Also, he's constantly exalting and opposing the will of Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushua, but only for a short season. So that's what we're seeing right now. We're seeing a lot of this, all sorts of wickedness is at work. We're seeing these cities, like in Southern California, different parts of the world is pretty much on fire. These what they call wildfire, and who's causing these things. We know it is caused by Yahweh, by Shema Shah, but he's using that left hand energy, the so-called white man, these are direct energy weapons. A lot of things are constantly happening, trying to bring this order out of chaos. Also, we already know we're right upon civil war. Also, things are happening, right here in our own backyard. And also, as rumors of wars are all over the place. Things are getting ready to get very, very critical, very, very dangerous. Jacob's troubles at the door. A lot of things are happening. So right here it said thousands warned to evacuate in Southern California. So as wildfires threaten Malibu. So Malibu, it's a lot of what you call these rich celebrities, live in Malibu. I think it was I seen a clip about a video about Dick Van Dyke. I think he's 99 years old. He had to crawl to safety. He liked not to made it out of there. So a lot of things are happening. So the Lord is constantly bringing forth that judgment. It's coming down left and right. So no one is going to escape the hands of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. So right now, a lot of people have been displaced. Just like Lord can, make you rich, and also the Lord can make you poor. The Lord has control over the riches and also poverty, which in fact to make you a poor man, overnight. So this place is getting ready to go. And also the Lord is constantly breaking the staff of bread, your necessity, your way of life, your support. A lot of people right now are displaced, don't have any where to go, have lost everything. And one thing about it, they're going to constantly lose. They're going to lose their life, because one thing about it, if you're not a part of the elect, the true believers of Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushua, you're going to lose everything. One thing about it, a lot of people are very happy here, but you getting ready to be destroyed here. This place is getting ready to be totally destroyed. And one thing about it, these wildfires are constantly spreading all across the world, not only in Southern California, Northern California, as it was certain parts of the East Coast. I think they got it under control. Also, it was some forest fires in Canada, different parts of the world. So this red devil is constantly moving in warp speed. And also we know that earthquakes in diverse places, these things are constantly picking up left and right. So now let's go here now. Let's get a few precepts, then we get a few more video. Let's go here to Ezekiel chapter 3. Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 3, just rolling in the spirit. Ezekiel chapter 3, one moment. Ezekiel chapter 3 and verse 17. Ezekiel chapter 3, one moment, and verse 17. Salaki. Yeah, I'm always slower with this blue letter. The blue letter's kind of, don't go straight to it. You have to scroll to it. But anyway, it says here, Ezekiel chapter 3 and verse 17 says, Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore, hear the words at my mouth and give them warning for me. So that's exactly what we're doing, constantly warning you about. We know that this happened Monday, but I'm thinking it's still burning out there. I have a sister from California, and she was telling me how the air quality was, and also they had a lot of smog, and they had a lot of different area roadways that was closed off. So one thing about this, man, can put you in a box, and also they saying it could be possible a state of emergency out there. So one thing about it, so we already know the air quality is bad, or the visibility is very low. This is exactly what this red devil wants. Constantly causing this order out of chaos. A lot of people are getting moved out of their livelihood, overnight. So one thing about this place, it can come a third world country overnight. We constantly warn you about the pestilence, any type of outbreak, sickness or disease. We're telling you about all these things. We're telling you about the MOTB. We're telling you about Jacob's Trouble. We're telling you about World War III. What's going on over there in the Middle East, between Russia, Ukraine, also between Israel and Syria, and also Israel and Iran, so forth and so forth. Also China and Taiwan. We constantly warning you of these things left and right. The Lord said, warn them for me, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear. So that's reading NLT. It says, Son of man, I have appointed you as a watchman for Israel. Whenever you receive a message from me, warn people immediately. That's exactly what we're doing. The Lord said, keep not silent. Stay on fire for Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. So now let's go here to Second Ezra chapter. Then we get a few more videos. Let's go here to Second Ezra chapter 8 and verse 50. Second Ezra chapter 8 and verse 50. Let's get this one here. It said, for many great misery shall be done to them that in the latter time, which in fact is now, shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. So a lot of people right now have pride, and the Lord hates pride. The Lord hates arrogancy. The Lord hates self-will, that do thy will spirit. And one thing about the Lord is getting ready to cease it. In that day, everyone is getting ready to know the true power of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. Every tongue shall confess, every knee shall bow down. So that's why we're constantly seeing these different calamities and catastrophes, and, global events are happening around the world simultaneously, just like a domino effect. These evils are growing, and one thing about they're not going to slack down, until the Lord return. We're in the end time. The latter time is now, the end time, real time. We're seeing these things going down left and right before our great misery. We're seeing it. These people right now in anguish. A lot of people right now have uncertainty, very, afraid, because they have lost everything. What are we going to do? And one thing about it, they're going to come with their solution is the MOTB, that grain of rice. Remember, all roads lead to that grain of rice. It says here, 2 Ezra chapter 8 and verse 50, for many great miseries shall be done to them that dwell that in Salakia. 2 Ezra chapter 8 and verse 50 says, for many great misery shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. So a lot of people right now, they're not thinking about the Lord. They're not thinking about that this is things are ending. They thinking everything is all right. They think that these things are far off. Thinking that that hey, this is not going to happen right now. We're going through a little rough patch. Everything is going to be fine. Everything is lovely. But one thing about it, you're in for a rude awakening. The Lord said, I would choose your delusion, because a lot of people right now are very prideful. Very covetous. Haters and despisers of the word. Also, they hate him that rebukes at the gate. The man of the Lord is constantly sounding the alarm. And one thing about it, the Lord is constantly cause these things to happen. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the Lord has not done it? And shall evil be done in the city, and the Lord has not done it? So the Lord is causing these things that happen left and right, because he get ready to usher in the what? The kingdom of heaven that dwells in righteousness. So now let's go here to let's get one more. Let's go here to 2nd Ezra chapter 15. 2nd Ezra chapter 15, let's drop down to verse 11. So the Lord's bringing these plagues, and once again, we know what happened back in Moses' time. You know, the Lord's getting ready to bring them forth once again. It says here, it says 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and verse 11 said, "But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof." So that's exactly what's happening. So we know what happened back in Moses' time when the Lord brought the plagues upon Pharaoh. You know, Moses went to him and told him, said, "Let my people go." But he would not. The Lord hardened his heart so the Lord can show forth his power. So the Lord's getting ready to show forth his power once again. You know what I'm saying? And modern day Egypt is what? Is America. Babylon the Great. So we're here right now. There's no new thing under the sun. Verse 12. Let's highlight this right quick. And it reads, 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and verse 12, it says, "Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of the earth shall be smitten with the plagues and punishment that God Almighty shall bring upon it." So that's exactly what's happening. The Lord's getting ready to bring these plagues because we read upon judgment, massive judgment. Also, we know that the body count is getting ready to be great. And also, we know that Egypt is a summoness, is work hand in hand with the house of bondage. And one thing about it, so we're in modern day Egypt once again. You know what I'm saying? Babylon the Great, America. So we constantly warning you left and right. The Bible is a true book. And one thing about these things going to constantly pick up each and every day. They are not going to slack down. They're going to constantly increase left and right. Things going to get worse and worse. A time of trouble that we have never seen before. So now let's get two more little quick videos, you know, just to bring out a little bit more edification. Let's go with this one.
Malibu engulfed in flames overnight. Unusually low humidity and powerful winds fueling the inferno.
You can hear just how ferocious this fire is. These flames at times easily reaching 20, 30 feet in the sky. There's a home on the other side of this hedge. And if you look around, you can see the embers. They are starting new spark fires.
The Franklin fire started shortly before midnight and within hours exploded to over 2,500 acres.
It almost looks like a volcanic eruption.
Students at nearby Pepperdine University captured the wall of flames as they sheltered in place. About 700 firefighters fought the blaze overnight, today trying to bring it under control.
Rest assured, we are going to have a coordinated air and ground assault on this fire for as long as it takes.
Linda Michelle manages this property and fled in the dark.
Ambers were like flying everywhere in front of us. It's either die or live at that moment. And I just said, let's just get out of here.
Nearly all of Malibu's residents were under an evacuation warning. Michelle's neighbor, Alec Gellis, stayed behind to help.
There was so much fire, it looked like every house burned.
Look at this.
They took us back to the property and saw that the horses left behind were safe.
You saw the horses?
Yeah, they're good.
Oh, you made it, girl.
I bet it gives you a new appreciation for life.
It sure does. Very blessed today.
And this is one of 5 homes destroyed just in this neighborhood alone. And you can really get a sense of just how intense this firestorm was. This was a brick building now completely leveled, and the threat continues tonight. Red flag warnings remain in effect through tomorrow afternoon, Nora.
Jonathan Vigliotti, thank you very much.
we're seeing that the Lord is constantly visiting the earth that he created. So now let's go here to Amos chapter 3. And I think it's around verse 6. Amos chapter 3, we get this one right quick. The Lord is calling these things that happen left and right. And one thing about it that we're seeing that right now that it's obvious that and clear that we're living in the end time. So now, start here. I think here it is here. Amos chapter 3 and verse 6 says, shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Shall evil be Salakia? Let me start over again in the spirit. Amos chapter 3 and verse 6 says, shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in the city, and the Lord has not done it? So one thing about it, the Lord is calling these things to happen left and right. The Lord create evil, the Lord create good. Also, the Lord do all these things. What I'm saying? He work with, the Lord control the left hand side, also the right hand side. So the Lord is calling these things to happen with the eyes of the Lord, which in fact are the angels. That's why we constantly seeing all these different they constantly trying to ignorantly call them UFO, UAPs. All now they're trying to say drones, but we're not ignorant to say device. We know that there are the chariots of the Most High in every place, beholding the good and the evil. They cause these different things to happen all around the world, constantly doing the Lord's bidding, whether it's from the left hand or the right hand side. The Lord is constantly in perfect control, and He's caused these things to happen. So let's read it once again. Amos chapter 3 and verse 6, and also the Lord is visiting the earth that he created. Amos chapter 3 and verse 6 says, shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in a city, and the Lord has not done it? So that's exactly what's happening left and right. A lot of people thinking that, it's going to pass, or this, it's just something, that's normal, it's at that time of the year. But hey, one thing about it, a lot of people don't know the signs of the time. And one thing that we're very close to the second coming of our Lord and Savior and our great deliverer. Man, we cannot wait, man. We're ready to get the hell out of here. So now let's go here to Isaiah chapter 29 and verse 6. Keep quoting, I might always get it. It says, thou shalt be visited. Isaiah chapter 29 and verse 6. It said, thou shalt be visited of the Lord of hosts, our armies, with thunder and with earthquakes and great noise, with storms and tempests and flame of devouring fire. So right now, that's exactly what the Lord doing, calling all these different weather patterns, like the thunderstorm, tsunamis, flooding, hailstorms, earthquakes in diverse places. A lot of things are constantly happening. These wildfire, that devouring fire also goes into that laser and chariot fire. Also this thermonuclear fire that's getting ready to come upon this earth. And also that great noise, that great thermonuclear exchange. The Lord is visiting the earth that he created. We constantly seeing it left and right. That's why we constantly seeing it every day. It's a big thing in the news right now about these so-called drones. And one thing about it, we already know that's the Lord visiting the earth that he created. And one thing about it, we know that things are getting ready to intensify very soon. So the Lord is constantly bringing it left and right. And one thing all we got to do is watch, pray, and be sober. Constantly redeem the time wisely. And the Lord is going to do the rest. So let's read this once again. Isaiah chapter 29 and verse 6, thou shalt be visited of the Lord of hosts with thunder and earthquakes and great noise, with storms and tempests and flame of devouring fire. So exactly what we constantly seeing. That eventually the entire United States of America is going to be on fire with that devouring fire, which in fact is laser and chariot fire, these what they ignorant call UFO, UAPs, or drones, and also with this nuclear fire, which in fact these IBCM missiles, the arrows of Yahweh, they're getting ready to be shot through the ends of the earth. You know what I'm saying? One thing about it, man, we know that we're very close. That thermonuclear fire is very close. This nuclear exchange, this nuclear holocaust. The Lord is visiting the earth that he created. We are so very close. It's a World War III. The war drums are beating. Things are happening left and right. Earthquakes. Just had an earthquake not too long ago right here in my own backyard in Mississippi. Also in California, different parts of the East Coast. Everywhere. We cannot hardly keep up. And also volcanic activity left and right, flooding, all sorts of things. A hurricane back a couple of months ago happening what there in North Carolina, Tennessee, Appalachian Mountain. They still are cleaning up the devastation, still are finding bodies. So one thing about it, hey, man, the Lord is constantly bringing it left and right. Many great miseries shall befall them. So now, let's go here to, let's get one more. We close out. Let's go here to Second Ezra. Let's get doing it, then we'll get one more. We close out. Second Ezra chapter 16. Let's go back here. Second Ezra chapter 16. Something I want to get out of here. Second Ezra chapter 16. Let's start up at verse 37. Second Ezra chapter 16 and verse 37 say, behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack. Verse 38, as when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son with 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, which pains when the child comes forth, they slack not a moment. So that's exactly what we're seeing. So we know we're in that transition of power. We know that these plagues will constantly pick up left and right. We're seeing it with our own eyes. They're constantly intensifying. Verse 39, it said, even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side. So that's constantly what we're seeing is coming upon it on every side. Everywhere you look at it, it's over here in the Middle East, over here in Babylon the Great, also over there in Europe, UK, Africa, all around the world. It's constantly not slacking down for a moment. Every day something is happening. That's why the Lord has set up watchmen to warn you of these impending dangers. And once again, whether you will hear or whether you will forbear, man, we're here, man. It's the end of all things are at hand. So let's get this last one. First Peter, we'll go here, we'll close out. First Peter chapter 4 and verse 17. And it reads that, but the end of all things is at hand. Be ye therefore sober and watch unto prayer. So one thing about it, we already know it's the end of all things at hand. The end of what? An age. End of a what? An eons. And one thing about it, we're in that transition of power. It is taking place right before our eyes, even though that we're sounding like a broken record. But these times are right now, are right in front of us. So we're here. So that's why the Lord said, be sober. Have a stable mind. Wisdom and knowledge should be stable of time. Watch. Be vigilant. Knowing what time that we're living in. And one thing about it, we are not ignorant of Satan's device. We know that he's trying to get that advantage, total control to bring forth this grain of rice, extinguish it, and pray without ceasing. Ask the Lord to protect you in those times of trouble. One thing about it, we already know that the Lord named Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua will be a strong tower, and the righteous run into it and is safe. That's that safe haven of the true believers of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua, the house of David, the true believers. And one thing about it, that we know that we're very close. It's the end of all things at hand. It said, be ye therefore sober and watch unto prayer. And one thing about it, we already knowing that we're constantly watching, we're constantly praying, and we're what? Hastening the Lord great and glorious return. So the title of the daily lesson, once again, is Malibu Fire Forces Evacuation. So I'd like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim, Rekah Kwadash. I like to say, Shalom, Shalom.